Hi, this is Ms. Gonzalez again. Today I'm going to show you how to do the multiple representations of addition with no regrouping. As you can see here, I have an algorithm, I have an open number line, I have a strip diagram, base 10, the algorithm with subtraction to check, the place value strategy, and finally a statement. I'm going to go over the top portion of the question, and then you're going to do the one at the bottom at home by yourself. Let's go ahead and get started. First, I'm going to decompose the number 24. Now, last week we worked on place value and we learned how to decompose numbers using expanded form. So that's what I'm going to do right here. 24 in expanded form is 20 plus 4. So it's very important that you break that apart because that's going to help you with your open number line. So the next thing I do is work on the number line here. Now what I got to think is when I'm using an open number line, when I add, I move forward on the number line. And when I subtract, I move backwards on the number line because you're taking away. But this is addition, so I'm going to move forward on the number line. My number line is going to start with the first number, and I'm going to put a dot right here, and that's going to represent 65. Yes, there are numbers before 65, but my algorithm starts with 65, so that's why I started it here with 65. The next one I'm going to do is I'm going to add 20 to it. So I'm going to do a leap, and remember, I'm moving forward on the number line because I'm adding. And then I'm going to add 20. 65 plus 20, that's going to give me 85. Because 0 plus 5 is 5. And 2 plus 6 is 8. That's the number 85. But I'm not done yet. Because there's a 20, I have not done the 4. So you have to make sure now that you add the 4. I added the 20, but now I have to add the 4. So I put a check on here. I'm done with that one. Now I got to do this one right here. I got to add the 4. And that one is a smaller leap because 4 is a smaller number than the 20. So I'm going to add 4 right here. And I put a check mark. I'm done with that. 85 plus 4. Well, 5 plus 4 is 9. And 8 plus 0 is 8. The answer is 89. So that means the rest of the numbers in your multiple representation chart has to equal 89. My answer, I'm going to write it right here. I could write it right here as well. Now I'm going to move on with my base 10. Earlier in the week, you did base 10. And now I'm going to start with that one there since I'm very familiar with it. Okay, so I'm going to first do the number 65 right here. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 5. And again, make sure you draw these very neatly. If they're not written neatly, you might make a mistake. Okay, there's the number 65 and then the number 24. 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, there's my 65 plus 24, but now it's written in base 10. I check to see if there's enough to bring to the tens place or to regroup to the tens place. And if I count them, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's only 9. I cannot regroup to the tens place. So I take these numbers and I bring them down to the decision area. I go ahead and now drop down the 5 from there and the 4 from the bottom. And I change it to standard form. I do the same with the tens place. I check to see if there's enough tens to make 100. And if it's not, you bring it down to the decision area. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 8. There's not enough to make 100. So I'm going to bring this down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. And I change it to the standard form of the number. And as you can see, I'm still getting the same answer as the others on top. Okay, now I'm ready for the strip diagram. Now this strip diagram is an addition strip diagram. So you have the two parts for your strip diagram. You do not have the whole. but now I know the answer is 89. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the parts that I do know. And remember, strip diagrams can be either with numbers at the bottom or numbers at the top. And what I mean by that, you can put your whole at the bottom or you can put your whole on the top. It all depends on how you want to do it. I'm going to go ahead and start off with my two numbers, 65 and 24, because those are the numbers that I had originally started with. 65 is a very large number compared to 24. So I'm going to give it the larger piece. And 24 is the smaller number, so it's going to get the smaller piece. When combined together, I take these two parts and it creates the 89, which is my whole. So I'm going to go ahead and write the 89 there, and that's my entire piece. This long strip represents these two numbers put together. Now I'm ready to do the algorithm right over here. Now the algorithm is very much like this one, but now you're going to use this to help you keep all your numbers in order. So I'm going to do 65 and 24 and write them in there. I do not write them over here because these are numbers with 2 digits. They're not 3-digit numbers. So make sure that you write it in the first 2 because those are the 10s and the 1s. 5 plus 4 equals 9. And 6 plus 2 equals 8. Okay, so I'm done with the addition algorithm, but why does Ms. Gonzalez have a subtraction algorithm? Well, that's because if you want to check if your answer is right, you subtract to check. So I'm going to take the large number at the bottom, and I'm going to put it up here. Then I'm going to take the 24, that's the number right here, and I'm going to subtract it from 89. And I need to get this one. It's kind of like a large fact family. 9 take away 4, well, that's 5. And 8 take away 2, well, that's 6. So if you take a good look, it gives you 65, which is the top number. That means you are correct. All right, so this is how you check your standard algorithm. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to do the place value strategy. And I'm going to write my problem right here, 65 and 24. Okay, first I got to decompose both the number 65 and 24. So I'm going to go ahead and decompose this one by 60 plus 5. And this one is 20 plus 4. Okay, the next thing I do is I combine my 10s. I have a 60 and I have a 20. And then I combine my 1s. 5 plus 4. So here are my 10s and here are my 1s. 60 plus 20 is 80. And 5 plus 4 is 9. When added together, I get 89. So far, everything has turned out correct for me. All of them are giving me the 89. So my answer is absolutely right. So the last thing you do is you write down what you did. Well, I added 65 to 24. And the sum is 89. And that is how you do the multiple representations of addition. Thank you for listening.